So this is one of those analytics type graphs, offensive drive efficiency chart. X-axis, so across, is the drives to reach the red zone. Y-axis, percentage of red zone trips that score a touchdown. So the X-axis is the percentage of drives to reach the red zone. The Browns are by far the worst team in football in drives that reach the red zone. They're behind the Chargers, the Seahawks, the Raiders, the Panthers, and the Bears. You see way over on the other side, you got the 49ers and Bills, the Commanders, and the Ravens. So those are all playoff teams that are considered. And then there's the Chiefs and the Lions. Those are the furthest 6, 7 there. Those are all Super Bowl contenders. And the Browns are on the complete opposite end of the spectrum. So, Lance, when you look at that, it shows you how much of a struggle it's been. They're not even moving the football, is what that's telling you. They are not getting into the area where they are threatening to score consistently.
Well, I will say this: if you're not able to run the ball at all, even if you're a spread team, if you watch the Rams and some of these teams over the weekend that are predominantly want to throw the football, you got to be able to run the ball occasionally. You got to be able to have some quality runs. So maybe not quantity. Maybe you don't rush 25, 30, 40 times like they used to because they're trying this new style offense. But you got to have some quality runs on first down. And that's what I see happening is that there's too many second and third and long situations. And they're not pass protecting well enough to be in those automatic pass situations because it allows those defensive ends to just pin their ears back and come. And you get these exotic blitz looks from these really good defensive coordinators. So for me, the number one reason besides the quarterback, which everybody has blamed everything on the quarterback, which I don't agree with, really comes down to the run game. My reason they've struggled so bad this year on offense starts and ends with that run game. They got to get the run game going so they can get some advantages on second, third down.
And I think you touched on it. I've said it before. They're not physical on the line of scrimmage offensively anymore. Defensively, they're still playing a little physical. They used to manhandle teams up front. It's the same guys, and they're not doing that. The question is, have you switched the scheme up significantly? Is it being coached differently? Is it different techniques? I mean, let's hope it's the technique, and you can go back and just say, all right, this isn't working. We're going to go back and we're going to be physical.
Well, for me, that comes down to practice habits, right? So right now, they're not practicing being physical every day. And to be a physical run football team, you have to physically run the football in practice, and you got to have some live bullets. Browns don't practice like that now. Browns aren't physical in practice. They never have been. Now, they've been successful, and everything's under a microscope when you're losing. But really, if you're going to be a physical football team up front, you got to run the ball. You also got to involve some gap schemes, right? They're all zone right now. They're not pulling those guards. Gap schemes allows you to be, as an offensive lineman, get off the ball, get inside, and just kind of maul people. And they're not doing that right now because of the scheme. Everything is zone, and you have to be really cognitive in zone and 2 hands with 2 feet and 2 defenders. And there's a lot that goes into zone. Really, really awesome if you can run it. Gap is a little simpler. Gap is a little archaic, which is awesome because you can get those guys, put their hands in the ground and get off the football. They're not doing that at all right now. There is no movement whatsoever. I always like to say vertical displacement. There is no movement up front. With no movement, you get no run game.